I'm good, and you're rolling.
Oh, we're rolling.
I'm here with Heartland's lead pastor, David Howard Ambrose, and today we're talking a little bit about the Living the Dream campaign.
Speak up.
Louder?
I can't hear you. Is that loud enough?
You should be fine. Yeah.
All right,
fine.
I should be fine.
All right, my bad.
Yeah, did they ever call you Howie, David Howard Ambrose?
They once in a while they call me Howie or Howard the Duck.
Well, I'm here with Pastor Howard the Duck today, and we're going to talk a little bit about living the dream. And so
You know what else they call me?
What do they call you?
P. Diddy.
Oh, P. Diddy.
I like that.
For your thuggin' days.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I used to rap.
Do you want to spit a few bars?
Yeah, your mama, your daddy, your bald-headed granny with the big fat fanny and the hole in the panty with the bigger behind. Then Frankenstein going beep, beep, beep down Sesame Street. Word.
How many times have you done that before?
Oh man,
That was unreal.
Thanks, man. That's
that
why
would be
they call
so
me-
coarse in Australia.
That's why they call me P. Diddy.
As the voice of Tony Allen lingers in the background.
He's our
Yeah.
cameraman.
Cameraman.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
He actually should be on this side of the camera. He's much better looking than the both of us.
Well,
true.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Go ahead.
You just smell him. You just
Well, I
sniff his
nosed
shoulder.
him. That was called a nose. You got to see how many times you can put your nose on somebody without them noticing it. And I would have got away with it if it weren't for you.
This country is weird.
Yeah.
This is like a 3-person interview.
This is good.
Okay, go ahead. What
All right,
questions do you
so
want to
a
ask?
couple questions for you. First of all, tell me why you, Howard the Duck, are excited about the Living the Dream campaign.
Do they even know what living the dream is?
I mean, do they listen on Sunday morning?
I hope so. So we want to build this new building, new worship center. And I'm excited because I love teenagers. And I want our teenagers to be part of our church. They are part of our church. You guys are there, you're in the front row, you're worshiping. I love that. And so this is going to be cool. And I'm excited about it because it'll allow for more opportunities for students to be involved. To have your own place, to have bigger space, but to also be involved in the process of what God's doing. Because as you can tell, God's doing some cool stuff. He brought you here.
Yeah, that's some real cool
He brought
stuff that
Tony
God's doing.
all the way from Australia.
Yep, he did it.
And all these people are coming. And I think that's awesome because there's a whole community of people that need to be a part of a church.
Yeah, you're right. I would agree too. I'm pretty excited about that worship center that we have right now because that's the space you're talking about. That's the space that will be flexible and we'll be able to use to hopefully do some really cool thing with students. So, yeah.
Maybe some worship nights or some concerts
Yeah.
or some just bigger games or whatever.
MC.
What do you guys do with students anyway?
What do we do with
Like,
students?
what's something fun that you would use that space for?
Man, see, I think the key thing is what can we do without breaking the lights and the sound equipment? And really, I think the closer we get to breaking the lights and the sound equipment,
The more fun you'll
the more
have.
fun we'll have.
Yeah, I
That's
get
right.
you.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
there's some time to think about that.
I like it.
Hey, this is the part in the interview when we give a shout out to Drew's drawing skills, and we see one of the better illustrations he's ever done during staff meeting. The Joy of Pepsi, brought to
Right.
you by Drew Steinhardt.
Looks good,
nice
man.
nosing. Second question: what do you, as a lead pastor, want our students to know specifically about living the dream? How does this pertain to students? Get a little more into that.
Well, so, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a new place for us to worship as a church, which I think will be good because worship's important for all of us. Right, Tony?
Right. Everyone.
But especially for students, because here's why. I think students help lead us and model what worship is all about. And quite frankly, you do a really great job of that because you're not afraid of what people are thinking. You're there, you're worshiping God authentically. I think a new worship center, a bigger space, more acoustically sound space will just bring that out even more and give all of us an opportunity to learn what it means to worship God. And you know, Tony does a great job with leading us in that and teaching us about that. So I think this will just give us, number one, it'll give us a bigger opportunity for that. Number two, it'll give us an opportunity to use our current space for more outreach. Like we'd like to have eventually, and I haven't even told a lot of adults this yet, but we'd like to have a ministry here for homeless people in Medina. And we can have people in, we can serve them, we can expand our kitchen, and expand our continued outreach into our community. So there's lots that we can do, and you got to spend money to do it, which kind of sucks. I don't want to spend a lot of money, but sometimes you have to spend money to make an investment for the long term. So I think it's going to give kids, middle school, high school, college students, an even greater opportunity to be involved with us.
So, cool. So what you're saying, it sounds like, is that students are a big part of what we're doing here at Heartland, which I like to hear. Is that what you're saying? Am I hearing
I
that
hope so.
correctly?
I mean, so here's the deal. Like, I'm partial to students because I was a youth pastor for 13 years.
Wow.
I love students, you know. I still love students. I would rather hang out with students than adults.
Amen to that.
And here's the problem, is that all of us turn into adults.
Seriously.
But you're only as young as you feel. So to me, it's important that students are a part of our church now, that they don't just feel someday they will be the church. They're part of the church now, and that hopefully it'll be a place where they can continue to be the church, you know?
Yeah.
When they're in college, when they start having kids of their own, come back, this will be a place for the long term where they can come in, learn about Christ, and then go out and be Christ to our community and to the whole world. You know,
Yeah.
Nicaragua, other countries make huge difference.
Yeah, so essentially what you're saying is students can make a difference with their lives the way they live right now, and we want to set them up to do that for a lifetime in a really cool way.
I think they are making a difference.
Yeah.
Like I said, modeling worship, but also, you know, you can give financially to this campaign. Students make money. I mean, some of them have good jobs. Well, they can give financially to a campaign. They can pray for this project. They can get involved. We've got stuff that needs to be handed out. We've got meetings that they can come in and help with. There's tons of ways. Like if a student says, well, how can I help? We can get them involved because that's an important part of our church is showing the adults that students are just as much of the church as anybody else is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow,
So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, me too. Sounds like you're right on there. So
if any of them win the lottery, no, don't play the lottery. But if any of them are millionaires, they could get.
they're not even old enough to legally play the lottery.
Well, here's another thing they could do. They could go home and tell their parents that they need to give lots of money to our campaign.
Oh, so
Thought you were
don't
gonna
go home and tell their parents that they need to play the
Yeah,
lottery.
that's what I thought you were going to say.
No, don't do that. That wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
That was
okay.
only a joke.
Un chiste,
Un chiste.
as mi amigos say.
Yeah. Un libro cancoso.
What does that mean?
A book with cheese.
Con queso.
Con queso, that's right.
Muy malo.
How do you say that in Australian? That's how you say it.
Yeah.
Ah,
There you
good.
go.
Well, we're going to wrap this up because we could listen to ourselves talk a lot longer, clearly. But hope this was helpful.
Why have I been holding this? I have no idea why.
I think that says something about the kind of man
It
you are.
does. I
It
need
does.
something to
But
hold.
yeah.
Hiding.
Go ahead. Close. Bring it close.
He's gonna
Get
nose
off
you.
of me. As we're saying, we are going to finish up Stop Nosing Me. And I hope you enjoyed that and feel like you know a little bit more about what's going on with Living the Dream. Thanks.